A 474 credit score, a 1.5 GPA, no money in the bank, no real estate experience. By every single metric, my next guest had no business building a $32 million portfolio. And yet, here we are. My guest today shows that the scoreboard at the start doesn't determine the scoreboard at the finish. So please welcome to the show my good friend Jiries Dawaher.
If you're investing,
investors will.
The podcast for all things real estate investing.
So Jiries, it's a pleasure having you on today on Investor One-on-One, man. For everyone that's watching this and wants to know a little bit more about you, can you give us a little bit of an introduction, a little bit more about you to start this off?
Yeah, man, definitely. So, I guess I'll start at the beginning. I got started in real estate at about 2010, but it was not an easy path there. So, in 2002, I graduated from high school with a 1.53 GPA, 311th out of 320 kids. Like, not a good, didn't really get good grades. I was a good person. I just wasn't a great student. I had a hard time learning the traditional way at school, the way they talk, the way they teach us, like memorize, 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 take a test, memorize, take a test. And there was like an issue with that because, like, coming from a big immigrant family, I was supposed to be like a doctor, an engineer, like I was supposed to be a lawyer, something, something big time. And obviously, when you barely graduate high school, that makes it a little difficult. So my exit interview with my guidance counselor, he asked me, he's like, well, what do you want to do after high school? And I told him I want to go to college because that's like what we're taught, right? Go to school, go to college, get a good job, work 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, and whatever. And he looked at me and he's like, well, Jerry, do you have any more realistic expectations? And I was like, oh crap. I'm like, well, I guess I can't go to college. I'm not smart enough. So I ended up in 2001 joining the Army. So I ended up going in as a helicopter mechanic. And I fixed CH-47 Chinook helicopters, big helicopters with double propellers on the top. So I went in, and what's funny is, like, I went in one of the most difficult schools in the military, and I ended up graduating as the distinguished honor graduate. And what's crazy about that is, like, like, why? Like, why? Why did I do so well in such a tough environment? And I look back, and the answer is very simple. It all boils down to one simple thing. It's that you don't need to know all the answers. You just need to know where to find them. And that's what the military taught me. Is like, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know where to find the answers. So fast forward to 2010, I get out, and I'd done a couple things in the military. I destroyed my credit, and I'd saved no money. And that's a story for a different day. But one thing I did that changed my life was I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that book changed the way I thought about how you make money, how you create wealth, just how things really work, the relationship between time and money. And when I got out, I was like, man, I need to get into real estate. But how do you get into real estate with a 474 credit score and no money saved up? Like, that's challenging, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did what I was taught to do, and I do what I do best. And I was looking for the answer. And I found in 2010 this method called wholesaling, where I could take a property that I never actually close on and sell the rights to that property to somebody else. And this is in 2010, right? 16 years ago. It's crazy to think that. Before TikTok was crazy and Instagram and everybody was on there just telling you all this stuff. Well, I went on from 2010 to 2016 to do over 1,000 wholesale transactions. I did very well. Like, we built an entire wholesale company. We were doing short sales, share sales, probate, MLS deals, direct to seller. Like, we were cranking. We destroyed it. We did so well. So well that I was able to fix my credit. I house hacked. I learned how to talk to sellers. I learned how to talk to buyers. I learned how to raise private money, all that good stuff. And in 2016, I kind of realized, well, like, wholesaling is really good money. I was making six figures and we were crushing it, but it was a job. I was still like trading time for money. And I'm looking at some of these people I'm selling houses to, and they're building massive rental portfolios. And I was like, man, I should be doing that too. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I'm always looking for the next deal, sending the next postcard, meeting the next seller, doing the next whatever. And basically, 2016, I kind of slowed down wholesaling and I bought my first rental property. Well, from 2016 to 2020, I scaled from 0 to over 60 doors in about 4 years, less than 5 years. And in 2021, I was fortunate enough to, because I bought in the right areas and I understood how to make the right improvements. In 2021, I actually bought my first two hotels. I bought a Hampton Inn and a Staybridge, which we exited about like 6 months ago after we stabilized and everything. So it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey, which has been super exciting. So that's a little bit about me and what I've done. And to be honest, like one of my most proudest accomplishments, it's not what I've done in real estate myself. It's that in 2020-ish, I kind of pivoted a little bit and I went on to start like helping people and kind of mentoring a community. And I've helped over 3,000 of those people in the community get started in real estate. And of those 3,000, 150 of them have been able to scale to the point where they have walked away from their W-2. They walked away from their job and pursued real estate full time and got their time back, which is super awesome.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that story. You have an
Yeah.
amazing journey. I know we spoke about it in Orlando a bit. Can we go back a little bit to the wholesaling part? I see that you're the person that loves to start things and you go all in and you scale it, but then you love going and seeing what's next for you when it comes to growth. So when it came to wholesaling, you started from nothing, you came from different industries. What was your first deal like for people watching this? Like, how did you get into it, and like, what can you share some numbers with us?
Yeah, I remember my first deal. It was on a road called Orchard in Cincinnati in Deer Park. This was actually an MLS deal. So, it was an MLS deal, which is like back then, and even now, it's like I'm fine selling deals on the MLS. Like because and it's a whole it's a whole thing because we put the work in to find them, right? It's a deal I picked up for $75,000 off the MLS. I got it the second it was listed. I went, looked at it, ran the numbers, and submitted an offer on the MLS. And had it under contract. And I sold the property to two brothers. It was Dew and Daryl. I sold it to them for I made 8,000, so I sold it to them for $83,000. That was my first ever deal. It was an on the MLS deal that I sold to two brothers that wanted to flip the house, that had flipped one just a few streets over. They were like those investors that I had that like only wanted brick Cape Cods in Deer Park in this pocket. And like, dude, the stars aligned and it was a perfect first deal.
That's awesome. And you're just investing in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, primarily Cincinnati.
Okay. How are you getting your deals in today's market? Maybe sometimes, MLS comes in, but is there other ways that you're getting your deals?
Yeah, I mean, I love direct to seller. Like the MLS is the one of the ways I think the best real estate investors out there are the most well-rounded. Like you can't only buy off the MLS. You can't only buy direct seller. You can't only do this, and other. Like they're the best investors are the most well-rounded ones. But at the end of the day, the best deals you're gonna get, they're not off-market deals. They are direct to seller deals. It's going direct to the seller, building that relationship and then putting the property under contract with them, solving their problem.
Got you. And you spoke about different real estate investments you made over your career. Which one's currently your favorite out of all the strategies you spoke about, and why?
I mean, I love the Burr method specifically with 2 to 4 unit properties. I think that right there is a sweet spot to create some serious wealth. And if you can play in if you play in that arena the right way, you don't need to scale up to bigger apartments. You don't need to scale up to bigger hotels. Like you can build a very nice life building a portfolio with 2 to 4 units, and building in the right areas within the right appreciating markets, and it's game over.
And when it comes to scaling these single family properties, I know you're really good at scaling. Do you have any systems that you can share with us, or what's your process like?
Yeah. Process is pretty simple. It's a few steps. Number one is I'm looking for properties that are functionally obsolete. And that means they're properties that were once great when they were first built, put together or whatever. But now there's something goofy about them. The layout doesn't work. There's an extra dining room when there doesn't need to be. The bedrooms are kind of funky. But I'm looking for functionally obsolete properties that I can force the value, that I can increase the value by forcing the appreciation by making strategic improvements to the property and and then what I'll do is just obviously make those improvements and then refinance those properties, pull back out my capital or my investor capital, and then continue to buy more. So it's not anything super massive. It's just those sudden little tweaks, like turning that 4 bedroom, 1 bath into a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's turning that 1 bedroom apartment to a 2 bedroom apartment. And or these are deals that are sitting on the market or off the market that people have to pass on because they don't understand how to force appreciation because they're seeing things through one lens. Like they're like, this is how it is, so this is what it is. But it's not like that. Like the best investors are the ones that can take an egg and make like a hard-boiled egg. They can make scrambled eggs. They can make sunny side up eggs. Like you got to have that lens where you can do different things with what you're given. That's an absolute game changer.
I couldn't agree more on that one. Is there a property that you're acquiring right now that you can share with us, from A to Z, how you got it, what you're doing with it, and what you're projecting the numbers are going to be like?
Yeah, I'll give you actually one I'm doing right now. So, this is a 4 unit I'm working on right now. It's a 4 unit, 4 1 bed units. Typically, I'm not a huge fan of 1 bed units unless I can flip them to two. But this is like right in the core of like Covington, Kentucky. Super up and coming hip area, like super walkable, really good young professional demographic. But 4 unit, bought it from a tired landlord. So I had to buy that property. I had to buy the 4 unit and a single family from this guy to get the deal done. I got both of them. I got both of the properties for $290,000. I took the single family and I wholesaled that for, I think I just sold it a couple weeks ago for like 85 or 90,000. So now I'm into this 4 family for 200,000. I'm gonna put about 120,000 in it for the renovations. So now we're saying we're at 320. Just say 340 with carrying costs and money. This building's gonna be worth about $500,000 when it's all said and done. And in the layout switches, I'm kind of swapping the layout. Like at first, I said it's a 1 bedroom, but it was really set up as a studio, so not a true 1 bedroom. So now I'm converting it into a true 1 bedroom with really defined living room space, a beautiful kitchen, and a nice like defined bedroom too. So just grabbing that old tired building that was gross and disgusting, and then increasing the value and forcing that appreciation the best way I know how.
Jairus, when you talk to me, you're making me want to go to Cincinnati right now and start investing because you're so good with numbers. You're so good at what you do. You're very passionate about it. But every successful person I speak to, there's always a challenge. There's always something that, they're going through that they always want to solve. That's why we go to these masterminds. That's how we met. For you, what's the biggest challenge right now when it comes to, Burr and everything that you're doing these days?
The biggest challenge for me is slowing down to speed up because I made I've got about 60-ish doors, right? So I scaled pretty
Mhm.
quick, and then I um kind of slowed down and kind of like spent more time mentoring and helping people. But now I've realized like I want to get to 150 units, right? And so far this year we're in May 2026. So far just this year I've put 9 units. I bought 9 units basically, and now I'm like playing catch up to kind of get them all renovated, and they're all great deals. But I think sometimes it's hard for me to slow down a little bit to get to speed up, right? Because I got to revamp my systems. I need not even revamp my systems. I need to build my bench of contractors back up because I've got good contractors. I just need more of them. So that's a big thing right now. So I found myself a little scattered between the 4 family, a single family, and another 3 unit. And things were getting done, but like nothing was getting finished. So a couple weeks ago, I pulled my guys off and I'm just like, Caesar, you're staying in this unit till it's 100% done. Then we're going upstairs, 100% done. Then we're going back over here, 100% done. And this is all in parallel while I'm interviewing with some more contractors and building a bench so we can deploy people in other places. Because the best thing you can do as a real estate investor is have a deep bench of contractors and lenders and title companies and everything else. Because at some point they're gonna get bogged down. Things are gonna happen. Um, so just want to have a deep bench, better systems, and intentionally slowing down to speed up, if that makes sense.
It does. And you spoke a little bit about contractors and your systems. What's your team looking like today? And what do you think it's going to look like from 60 to 150 doors?
I mean, my team is my strategy is simple. I want as trade specific as possible in my business. So, like, I only want a window. Like, my window guy is just my window guy. My tile guy
Mhm.
is just my tile guy. My glass block guy is just my glass block. My carpenter is just a carpenter. So, like, I don't want a jack of all trades. I want more trade specific people on my bench because that's how you're truly going to scale. So just more. I just want more of what I have. Like, I want the same people I have, but more of them, just a deeper bench of those people.
That's awesome. And, Jairus, we spoke a little bit about you as a coach and the impact that you're making. And that's probably also something that you want to grow during your career.
You've helped 100 people do their first wholesale deal. What's the most common thing holding people back that has nothing to do with money or credit, in your opinion?
It's consistency. It's being consistent. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to somebody that's like, I told them I've wholesaled, and they're like, "Oh, I tried that," and I'm like, "Well, how'd it go?" It just didn't work for me. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right. It just didn't work for you. You're the one it just didn't work for." Or did you just stop? Like, did you just stop because it got hard? Like, there's a couple people that pop in my mind is like, I think of Greg Burks. Greg Burks, this isn't a wholesale deal, but Greg Burks did his first Burr property. It took him 2 years. Greg is in his 50s. He's a full-time carpenter. And it took him 2 years to do his first deal when I started help coaching him. And what's crazy, on his first deal, he got back about $40,000 tax free. But the thing is, it took him 2 years to do. So if I were to say, "Hey, listener, I'm gonna give you, you're gonna make $1,600 a month for the next 24 months. But here's the catch, is you have to do this activity of getting rejected every single day for an hour, 2 hours a day. But in order to get the money at the end of 24 months, like you get the money at the end of 24 months, you get $1,600 a month, but you're going to get it in the form of a lump sum of $40,000 in 2 years. Would you do it?" And everybody would say they would do it. But then 4 weeks go by, 8 weeks go by, 6 months goes by, and they're like, I don't think there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I can't do this. And they just freaking quit. So the answer is consistency. That's it.
That's a great answer. And your story is insane. Start coming from an immigrant family, um, you know, challenging school grades, credit scores, then going and being in the army, military. You've went through it all. Is there a story that sticks with you with one of your students that you could share with us that shows that how he or she used consistency to, succeed in the industry?
Greg is a great example. I could think of, dude, Demont in the community. Demont's a crazy story. I don't know how this happened, but Demont was in prison on my coaching calls. And I remember when Demont would come on the Zoom, and I could barely hear him. The Wi-Fi was so bad, and I had no idea what his situation was. And I'm like, dude, he's gonna ask a question, I'm not gonna hear it, I'm not gonna understand it. Like, well, whatever. Like, we'll see. And then I found out he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting out of prison soon," like 2 years later. And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "You were in prison? Like, how did you even get in the program? Like, I don't even understand this." And Demont came out, guys, within 3 months of getting out. He educated himself. He learned all the steps. Demont bought his first rental property. Demont is literally closing and selling a flip. He called me on Sunday. We talked about seller credits and how to do certain things for a flip. He's closing a flip in a few weeks. Like, he just got under contract. Demont has like 3 rental properties. He started in prison, and like for some bull crap drug charges that he got stuck with. Like, they put him away for like 18 years, basically for just like being black in the South with like a little bit of drugs. It's such bull crap. But like, whatever. Like, he could have been like victim mentality. He could have been, this and that. But man, at the end of the day, like, he took education, he took this knowledge. He didn't let his circumstances dictate where he is and like where he can go, what he's allowed to do. Like, he is an insane freaking story. And I'm like so grateful to be a small part of his story and to get to call him a friend. So like, it's insane. Like, it's amazing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And Jiries, you wrote a book. I didn't know this about you. It's called
Yeah.
Rental Property Investing: How to Go from Broke to Seven Figures in 5 Simple Steps.
There it
What's
is.
the one step that most people skip that costs them everything?
I'm going to echo it. It's just like the consistent outreach. It's the consistency. That's a huge thing. Is just being consistent. It's all like, it's the killer, man. It's the consistency, and it all ties in with trying to do it alone, or not having like a community, or not having people by your side to help you. But it's the consistency. That's it.
And if you had to share with us, a quote or piece of wisdom, I know you started off by reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. What can you share with us today?
You're gonna work hard no matter what you do, whether it's for somebody else or it's for yourself. You're better off working harder for yourself and devoting devote 2 hours a week 2 hours a week, 30 minutes a day to just making yourself better, to reading that book you don't want to read, listening to that audiobook, going for that walk. Because like if you don't care about yourself, your goal, your mission, the finish line, then nobody else is going to care for you. Like it's up to you. Nobody's going to come and save you. We have all the resources we need to do anything we want to do right here. I mean, on your podcast, like on the YouTube, on the internet, like wherever. Like there is no excuse. Everybody's got a sad story. Everybody has circumstances. Everybody has been dealt a shitty card of some kind. I promise you. Everybody's got a story. The ones that succeed are the ones that don't let that story define them. They're the ones that push through adversity. Those are the ones that find a way to get things done. So like don't live life based on what other people say about you or what you think that you should be or whatever based on like the status quo. Fuck the status quo. That stuff doesn't matter. Like you've got to just build your life that you deserve, and it starts with you.
But following up on that, we wanted this little new short segment that's just like, whatever you think of that comes to your mind, just say it. It's like 5-6 quick questions.
Okay.
So yeah, let's just begin. Ready?
Yeah.
So best market for investors right now.
Midwest.
Biggest mistake new investors are making on their first deal.
Rushing into the wrong first deal.
Credit score doesn't matter in real estate. True or false?
True.
One tool or resource you can't invest and live without.
Like Redfin, it's free. I love Redfin.
Army or real estate, which taught you more about discipline?
Ooh. I would probably say real estate taught me more about discipline.
And what does financial freedom actually look like for you day to day?
Dude, it's slow mornings. It's like waking up when I'm done sleeping. I still wake up pretty early though, but it's like not meeting my contractors at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. anymore. It's like meeting people at like 9 a.m. so I miss all the traffic. It's just slow mornings in my time. That's it. It's like getting to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it.
Love that. And one
Yeah.
personal question I like to ask all investors that I speak to, is kind of the signature question, is that if you woke up tomorrow and had to start completely from scratch, you have no money, you have no network, you have no deals, no credit, nothing but the wisdom that you're sharing with us right now, what's your move on day one?
Day one is I would get my real estate license and I would go drive for dollars.
Perfect. And Jiries, for you, what's next on you would say for your business? Because I know you want to scale, you want to grow your coaching, and what's next for you? I know we spoke about your beginning about how your personal life and everything that you're doing around, but what's next for you on a personal level as well?
Dude, this is my personal life. I mean, we're having a baby in a couple weeks, so that's exciting. But
Amazing.
I mean, dude, more of this. This is awesome. Like, I mean, the things I get to do, the people I get to help, the days that I get to have, like, listen, some of them suck. I can tell you that some of them suck, but like my worst day as a real estate investor and entrepreneur is probably better than most people's best day working a job that they don't really like. So I'm very aware of that and I'm super grateful for it. So I just want to do more. I just want to do more and really enjoy the moments and things like that.
Jiries, you're amazing. For everyone that's watching this today and they were impacted by what you said, they want to start learning more about you, about Cincinnati, how they can start getting into real estate, how they can scale their real estate. What's the best way to connect with you or find you?
I mean, they can find me on Instagram, Jiries D, Jiriesd. I'm sure you'll link all that stuff. I have a free community, free school community in there with like free bird training, step-by-step guide, free wholesale training, stuff like that. But I'm not hard to find. My name pops up. It's not one of those ordinary names. You're not looking for John Doe.
For sure. I will link everything below. So yeah, that's a wrap for Investor 101 today. If this episode lit something up in you, please share with someone who needs to hear it. And we'll see you next week. Thank you again, Cheers.
Cool. Thanks, guys. See you guys.